Okay, this month's support question is a question that I get a lot, and this comes from Katrine, and she says, "Hi Marla, I have a question about brands. I have the full Terry Ludwig set, which I bought a year ago, and an old Rembrandt full set from the early 90s. I also have the new pastels. For painting landscape, they're everything I could ask for, but there's always a but. I've noticed that you have some colors that are very vibrant and far more chromatic than mine, especially the reds and violets and blue violets. I'd like to be able to paint more impressionistic, and my question is, which brand do you prefer as the most chromatic colors? Best regards, Christine." That's a really good question, and the question I get asked a lot is what brands. So I use a wide variety of brands because I find that each of the brands have different characteristics that I am going to employ differently in the pieces. Some are really hard, some are super soft, obviously. So, I want to have a nice broad range. I want to have, lots of tools at my disposal. So in terms of really chromatic colors, I absolutely love unison pastels. And of course, I love the Terry Ludwigs. So I would say if you're watching me and you're seeing me use like a lot of chroma, I'm probably headed towards the unisons or the Terry Ludwigs. I also use Mount Vision pastels. I have some Senneliers, though I find that they're so soft and buttery, they kind of crumble and don't kind of stand up to the sanded papers. They don't last. So I'll tend not to buy as many of those, though I love the colors, so I get sucked in sometimes and I end up buying some. So what else do I use? I also use Blue Earth. Those are a relatively new brand, and I find them to be very lovely pastels. And I'm looking at what else do I have. I use Giroux. They're kind of medium. I would say they're not a hard pastel, but they're not super soft either. And I find them very useful, and they come in really beautiful colors. I especially like the neutral set of the Giroux. So obviously those wouldn't be the real chromatic ones that you're asking about, Katrine. Is that how you say your name? Katrine? Katrine is probably your name, right? So, yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, let's see, what else is in there? Oh, I want to just say a word about the Rembrandts. When I first began painting in pastel, I used lots of Rembrandts. That's what I had, and I continued to buy some. I didn't really know any better. So these days, I probably don't have any Rembrandts left in my palette. I've kind of cycled them out and have come to prefer some other brands. But I wouldn't say not to use them. I would say to use them up, enjoy them, and as you find other things more satisfying, just replace them, because I think they're kind of hard, and to me they aren't quite as satisfying as some of the other pastels. So okay, I hope that answers your question, and thanks for submitting it.